Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But he ain't, I don't think, but I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
And when I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite the thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage. Big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights, not Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
September 13th. Now, what's interesting is I actually looked up the odds on this. I went on betonline.ag.
Yeah.
Canelo is -180, Crawford is 139. Which means that Canelo is favored, not massively favored. So it's like the way this works is that you'd have to bet $180 to make $100. Almost 2-to-1, like 1.8 favored over Crawford, who's 139. So that means if you bet $100 on Crawford, you'll get $139 back.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I'm just kind of learning this now. Do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there. Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who's amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what
you look at both guys and the way they're training. You see, like I said, Terence Crawford getting really strong, getting built up, potentially to try to go, I don't want to say power for power, but to be able to impose his will on Canelo and to take some of the punching from Canelo, whether it's the body work that Canelo loves with the lead hand, the chopping right hook, or just to be able to keep himself strong in clinch situations, inside, push-pull action. A little montage, but you can still see bits and pieces here. Obviously, neither guy is going to give too much up of their training, but you see him primarily working southpaw in most of his sessions so far, and southpaws have given Canelo some problems in his past, right? So I think, again, the way I started this video, I'm unconvinced that my theory is wrong because there's path to victory for Terence Crawford. Absolutely. To me, he almost has to be perfect to win this fight. Because, yeah, Canelo can win a decision. He's been doing that for the last 3 years, even though it's going to be a bit more difficult because Crawford, out of the two of them, everybody's saying is the better boxer. He's going to have to be, and he may be, but he's going to.
Boxing fans, get ready. September 13th is set to explode as Terence "Bud" Crawford moves up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo Alvarez for the super middleweight crown. And opinions are all over the place. Stephen A. Smith made headlines saying, Crawford's going to outpoint Canelo. His reasoning, Crawford's footwork, speed, and ring IQ are on another level. He's not banking on power, he's betting on precision. But not everyone agrees. Oscar De La Hoya fired back, reminding everyone that Crawford was once rocked by Gamboa, a much smaller man. So how does he take shots from a seasoned 168-pounder like Canelo? Others, like Roy Jones Jr. and Tim Bradley, admit it's a toss-up.
Alvarez, Terence Crawford in Las Vegas. Man, what are your thoughts? How do you see that fight going? Did you think that fight was going to happen? As a boxing fan, as a guy who's, works with Crawford, is close to Crawford.
At first, for a time, I didn't, right? But then I'm also thinking about after Crawford fought Errol Spence, in my mind, I'm like, what is he going to do now?
They were talking about Spence fighting Canelo at one point.
Yeah, at one point they were talking about that, but at that point I'm just like, dang, what is Bud gonna do now? Because I remember he was entertaining a fight with Jamel Charlo as well, but then the Canelo fight, I'm like, oh, okay, that's something. But then I start to like kind of do my homework, and I realized, okay, no, Bud actually really does have a chance here, and a real good chance, not like maybe if this and that happens. Like, no, like Bud has a chance to make that fight like a clear victory. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he has a skill set to, make Canelo a bit frustrated with his feet movement. He has the reach. He has the counter-punching ability, the speed, the IQ to maintain like his dominance in the fight. But I also feel like with Canelo,
obviously he has a big fight against Terence Crawford, who's coming up in weight.
Yeah.
But I keep telling people that Canelo is small for 168. It's not like he's a big 168 pounder. So the size difference isn't that much, in my opinion, right? I mean, I know he's been there longer, right? But Bud is slightly taller than him, longer arms than him. Do you feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
That's the million-dollar question, because I'm a historian. I love boxing. I love watching it. I love studying it. I know it inside out. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo, who's a natural, super middleweight, maybe? Or
But that was so
not that high.
But he fought at what, 190? Canelo?
175.
175? Okay. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters.
Right. Yeah.
He's not getting rattled at all.
No.
Berlanga's a big kid.
Right.
Yeah.
So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem. And Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't you
a lot
think
of...
Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fight? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet. But you saw his last fight with Skull. I mean, he was a runner. He was a Cuban runner, but he couldn't touch Skull.
Ever.
It was incredible. No. It was amazing. It was just like the fight with Lara. He couldn't touch Lara. So there's a reason why fighters think that if they move a little against Canelo, they have boxing abilities against Canelo, they might beat him. And I'm pretty sure Crawford is thinking, well,
but Terence is a different type of fighter. He's not just a mover. He's going to mix it up.
Oh, yeah.
And to his credit, that was early in his career. Maybe 135 wasn't a good weight. Maybe he could absorb more punches because he's been hit. He was hit by Majimov. He was hit by Spence. He didn't get hurt then. So maybe he has a tougher chin.
Not just that, Gamboa was the fastest guy alive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't see that shot.
If Crawford can stay off the ropes, stay disciplined, and avoid heavy shots early, he has a real path to victory. But that's a big if. Shannon Briggs, he's going even further. He says Crawford stops Canelo late. Bold talk, especially considering no one has ever dropped Canelo, let alone stopped him. Let's not forget, Canelo has handled bigger men like Sergey Kovalev and Caleb Plant. He's comfortable at this weight, and while he's struggled against slick boxers in the past, he's adjusted and evolved.
Canelo got hit by Matthew Hatton, and he got rocked, but he was 19. So as they've gotten older, no one's really been able to, but he didn't wobble them. So no one's really been able to hurt neither one of them recently.
Yeah.
So, but I think obviously Canelo has the power to hurt anyone.
I mean, power's a lot. In this game, means a lot. If you can't keep your guy...
Like Crawford. All right. My brother fought Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he get to stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I got to get massive, I got to get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower. It made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself. He didn't feel like the Jamel Charlo that y'all seen him fight Tony Harrison. Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as that. You want to get big to try to absorb Canelo punches and all this, but that's not technically, that's not the Crawford that we're gonna see. And then Crawford going up there to fight Canelo at 68, when he's not a 68 pounder, where's the motivation? Y'all gotta think about it like
big for Crawford.
The money is good, but we don't expect. I don't expect Terence Crawford to be the Terence Crawford that was knocking out Gamboa, doing all. I don't expect that type of Terence Crawford.
But does it look Canelo?
I'm not picking.
Have you been in there with Crawford? Yeah. So you've been in there with Crawford. You've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience, but then you got Crawford got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168. And it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terence.
Canelo versus Crawford. What did you make of all the pushing, the shoving, the build-up, the anticipation, the weight differences too?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage, and I've known him since he was a little kid. 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, it's a great experience, great to see.
Last question for me then. How do you think Crawford stops him? How do you think he's able to work Canelo enough for him to stop the fight, drop, knock him down? How do you think this is possible by Crawford style?
He gonna box him. He can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. One thing Canelo showed is that he can be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, I think Crawford gonna have something.
If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter.
One thing, it don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, It ain't been wow, blew me away. So I'm not really worried about all of that. And the same thing goes with Crawford. I know he's with Snack, and I know some news came out this week and all of that, but I personally believe that Snack...
Meanwhile, Crawford is a complete technician, fast, smart, with elite timing, but will putting on extra weight slow him down? That's the million-dollar question. The odds slightly favor Canelo, but the boxing world is split. Some see a passing of the torch. Others see a dangerous mismatch in size and strength. What we know for sure, this isn't just a title fight. It's a legacy fight. Can Crawford become a 4-division champion by dethroning the king at 168? Or will Canelo remind the world why size, strength, and experience still rule the ring? Let us know in the comments who you got, Crawford or Canelo.